हरि बोल हरे कृष्णा। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जन शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्री गुरुः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्री गुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्री रूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथन्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च नमा ओम विष्णु पादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्ण महाराज।
Welcome. We are continuing our reading from the light of the Bhagavat, the beautiful rendering of a summary from the chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam that Prabhupada did for presentation at a conference, which later became a book. And it's so sweet and it is so meaningful and purposeful, especially now in these times when people are talking about climate change, when people are talking about climate catastrophes, about food, about safety, about security, about the human race, and about the future, and about population and everything that you can think of. So it's a solution to all those problems together from the Bhagavatam, extracted beautifully by Prabhupada. So we are reading texts 27. After good rains, the grazing ground for the animals was full of green pasture. And both the bulls and the cows sat down on the grass, fully satisfied. The cows, followed by their calves, appeared tired of grazing because of full milk bags. Calmly and quietly, the cows and calves rested and ruminated, chewing their cud. Protection and grazing ground for the cows are among the essential needs for society and the welfare of people in general. The animal fat required for the human body can be well derived from cow's milk. Cow's milk is very important for human energy, and the economic development of society depends on sufficient food grain, sufficient milk, and sufficient transportation and distribution of these products. Lord Sri Krishna, by his personal example, taught us the importance of cow protection, which is meant not only for the Indian climate, but for all human beings all over the universe. Less intelligent people underestimate the value of cow's milk. Cow's milk is also called gorasa, or the juice from the body of the cow. Milk is the most valuable form of gorasa, and from milk we can prepare many important and valuable foodstuffs for the upkeep of the human body. The killing of cows by human society is one of the grossest suicidal policies. Those who are anxious to cultivate the human spirit must turn their attention first towards the question of cow protection. If we really want to cultivate the human spirit in society, we must first have first-class intelligent men to guide the society, and to develop the finer tissues of our brains, we must assimilate vitamin values from milk. Devotees worship Lord Sri Krishna by addressing him as a well-wisher of the Brahmanas and the cows. The most intelligent class of men who have perfectly attained knowledge and spiritual values are called the Brahmanas. No society can improve in transcendental knowledge without the guidance of such first-class men. And no brain can assimilate the subtle form of knowledge without fine brain tissues. For such important brain tissues, we require a sufficient quantity of milk and milk preparations. Ultimately, we need to protect the cow to derive the highest benefit from this important animal. The protection of cows, therefore, is not merely a religious sentiment, but a means to secure the highest benefit for human society. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki. So, this is glorification of the cow and how cows are so important to human society. Actually, our country is supposed to become, it seems in the future, the Vishwa Guru, the Guru of the whole world. It is one of the aspirations of the ruling government in the center. And they're going to model that. And everybody is all gaga about it. But right underneath, sorry to be saying these things, and speaking from the light of the Bhagavat, but right underneath, you would say that we are going to become the third biggest economic power in the world. And that economic power we will become by following the economic principles of modern society. And the economic principles of modern society are very much against what is mentioned here. It's not for the cow. It's not based on the cow and on the land. It's based on many, many ephemeral things. So, strictly speaking, what is mentioned here needs to be understood. Prabhupada may sound a little archaic, old-fashioned in saying protect the cow. But this is a basic principle of life, because that is how life is designed in this planet. And Krishna is explaining that. And here in this chapter, you will see that Krishna is particularly paying attention to cows. And Prabhupada says we should learn from Krishna how to protect the cows for the welfare of human society. These are all amazing statements. To protect the cow for the welfare of human society. How does that help? How does it help? How do we know that the cow, when protected, will actually benefit human society? This is basic education. This is basic economics. We don't have to do a great course in economics and land up looking for a job or having your own business and doing a business in such a way that it's got its effect. It's got its cascading effect on the whole human society by harming them. This is very important to know. Economics is already set up by Krishna. If you look after the cow, if you plow the land, you will have no problem for food, for water, for shelter, for that, for this. Very simple life with plenty, abundance. And somehow we are not doing it. And the more we step away from it, the more complicated life becomes. Every one of our lives is very complicated just to get a little food and stay peacefully in a house and look after yourself. It's becoming increasingly difficult. Because the more you stay away from the natural economics that Krishna has set up, the more difficult it will become. That's why to bring in the cow again and make it the center of your economic principle, you will actually do great. You will do great successfully. So simple and so easily done. Because Krishna does not want us to spend time doing all these things. Very little we need to do. And the rest of the time, we should actually be bothered about our spiritual life, bothered about our Krishna consciousness. And life is designed to spend maximum amount of time doing that. But we are doing the opposite. We kill the cow, send the cow to the slaughterhouse. So it's a direct opposite of the principle of human life. This we must understand very deeply. Nobody is teaching this cow economics, right? We are going to become the world number 3 economic country based on something else. And we will not become Vishwa Guru like that. If you really want to become Vishwa Guru, then you must do what the Guru has said. Krishna is the Guru, the Adi Guru. He has said in the Bhagavad Gita what we should do. And when we do that, we'll actually become Vishwaguru, a country that can model something for the whole world. Uh, so Krishna is with the cows. Actually, he spends a lot of time in his daily activity with the cows. The whole day he's with the cows, you know, his whole day with the cows and with the cowherd boys. And that's the type of respect, knowing what Krishna does, that we should give to the cow. So I can go on talking about the cow and cow economics a lot. But our whole basic, deep, core understanding and our culture was completely smashed by the Britishers, especially. It's Robert Clive who started the first cow slaughter place in India. And it is mentioned he studied Indians very well. And he knew their background culture was their biggest strength. And the biggest strength from that culture was worship of the cow, sacredness of the cow. So he wanted to publicly demolish it, want to publicly denigrate it, that value that we have for cows. And then he started the first cow slaughter, and there was a big rage. And people felt that they could not do anything about it. They could not do anything. If you read the history of the British and how cruel, how barbaric they were towards a great civilization without understanding anything about the principles of the civilization. No sensitivity towards a highly sensitive people who had very cultured, very sophisticatedly placed. And these barbaric people who understood nothing sophisticated in terms of culture were pitted against them, and they demolished like nothing. So many things, you see. And you'll hear so many stories of the fights of many cultured Indians and great people against the Britishers. But all those stories were removed from the history books because the history was written by the Britishers. The history books were also written by the Britishers. Even today, we are teaching that same thing. I don't know whether I told you this as an African saying. I think I made a video on this. African saying that until the lion has a chance to write, it will always be the story of the hunter that is known. It's a very beautiful saying. What becomes popular is the story of the hunter because the lion never gets a chance to tell its story. These African guys, they're talking about the colonizing Westerners, Britishers, Europeans. We have been hunted down so much, and they're the ones who write our history. We never get a chance to talk about our being hunted and how we scored victory over the hunters. That history will never be known to people because the history book is written by the hunter. The human being, the hunter, is always the one who is more intelligent, more knowledgeable, and he writes a history book. Where is the lion ever going to write a history? It's got its own story to say. So you will see, this is a very poignant African saying. You will see that all our history books are written, and you will see there are great stories of people who fought cow slaughter. There are great stories of people who were kings and who fought against the British to stop them from spoiling our culture and hitting our values and doing everything. Now we are speaking about cow value. How valuable is the cow? And in this situation, circumstance, now in Kali Yuga, if you talk about how valuable is the cow, people are going to laugh at you because the cow has no value. It's got only value as meat, fit for eating, flesh. Huge amount of slaughter of cows. Billions of cows are slaughtered. At the time, I was exposed to statistic on cow slaughter. Boy. And don't think India doesn't export beef by cow slaughter. Even today, there is beef export. It's one of the biggest revenues for India, but nobody is talking about it. Nobody is talking about it, right? So the economy that is mentioned here is an economy that has a Western ideology in it. So you must understand what Prabhupada wants us to do. He wants us to establish farms, cows, agriculture on your own. And he said that this will save you. The rest of them will die, but you will live forever. You can simply protect the cows and do agriculture. It's very important. The more I read Prabhupada's purports, the more I understand from the way the world situation is and the catastrophes, natural catastrophes that are happening, we can very easily make out that this is a way to go. Right now, I don't know, ISKCON is still in its infancy. We have not been able to develop the type of reliance on Bhumi and the cow. We're all very addicted to technology, very addicted to the economy that prevails, and we are servants of the economy. We will chant Hare Krishna only when these things are supplied to us properly. Right? Today we were talking about a new piece of land has been donated to us, about 4.5 acres in Tirupur and Palladam between. We're talking about how we should, at least for some time before we do other types of things, and that plow the land, grow crops, and have some cows before we slowly start building concrete buildings in it. I said, please do this at least for some time, till it's absolutely necessary for us to actually build something there in concrete and brick and masonry. For some time, let's stay close to the land and keep the cow. And devotee concerned agreed, yes, that will be very good to do it. We don't have to think about anything. We got a piece of land given to us by Krishna, and we should immediately put cows on that and do agriculture. And then amazing things will happen. I thought that because in Maya Matam, that book, it's mentioned that there are several ways of purifying the land. One of the best ways is to let the cow graze and pass urine and cow dung. The whole land will become purified subtly, grossly, everything. That's what I did in Guruvayur for a long time. The cow is really magic. Magic is the word. I mean, I remember the first time that I started the project here in Coimbatore, and I was Vastu, the big argument between the designer and the Vastu man. That is the architect designer Vastu man. And the architect designer was saying, to hell with your Vastu man. Tell him to go fly a kite. He was another devotee, by the way. I don't want him to interfere with my design. If he touches anything and changes, I'll finish it. I was so angry. The Vasuvan was saying, no, you cannot do this. You cannot leave this space here. You must cover it on the top and the bottom. You must put this. And I was jumping between him and and I was hellish for me. Until one devotee told me, that's how it's going to be. But you know what? You simply have a cow and a calf in the place. It takes care of all the bad Vastu. I couldn't believe it. I didn't believe it at all. And then I did research and I saw it's true. It says in many places in that Maya Matam here, it's a Maya Matam says just allow it to graze. All the doshas in the land will be sucked out by the cow. I was thinking, this is magic, it costs nothing. Why do people do it? But nobody does it. Then I went and consulted some other people in Kerala. He said, yes, Swami, the Vastana. It is the way it is, but nobody does it. I said, why? Because they don't believe in it. Cow they eat in Kerala. Where are you going to put a cow and have it? They'll be, very quickly beating it up and killing it and eating it up. So I understood and I went ahead and did it. And I could see that the next time the Vastu man came, he said, something good, the reading, he bought a machine. Said, the reading is very different. It's become 8 out of 10. Last time it was only 4 out of 10. I said, I know why. I said, I know why. When he said, why? And I don't want to tell you. He said, no, you can tell me. I said, the cow and the calf. Then he told me, possible. Because he's a very traditional guy. He said, possible. Similarly, the same thing I did in Guruvayur also. We had court cases, we had this, everything. I just said, after a long time, said, let's have a goshala. Anyway, the land is open. We're not able to use it. I just let the cows graze. And now we have 14 cows in Guruvayur. Small, calf. And everybody who comes to the guest house goes and pets the cows. They're jumping all over the place. And they're happy about it. They don't feel bad about it. They go to the cow, feed the cow, and do everything. Everybody likes it. There is sattvic vibration that comes out of the cow. There's a natural attraction for the human being and the cow. And those cows are so friendly that there's a calf there that comes whenever we sit down for Prashadam, all of us together, he comes to the doorway and stands. It's a regular thing he does. He comes with all his, his rope from his neck. And very cutely, he comes inside and he stands in the doorway looking at all of us. And everybody goes gaga, starts feeding him with bananas and everything. Whenever we are eating, he wants to come and join the eating. And when others go there, he goes and nuzzles them and, uses his head and nuzzles them and he wants them to pet him. It's so personal. They are so personal. And they're very secure because the rest of Kerala, everybody will eat it up. But there, they're all feeling very secure. They know we're going to be looked after here. We are looked after here. We're given love and affection. And, they give milk. And I think it's one of the most tastiest milk I've ever drunk. They've got these small Bechu cows. So everybody who interacts with the cow knows personally that there is something about it. And I think that when kids and all are allowed to play with the cow, befriend them, pet them, touch them, feed them and all that, something happens there. It's very mystical. Some purification, some amazing things happen. That's when I thought that we must have a Goshala. Because for a long time I said, who will take care of the cows? Boy, taking care of devotees itself is so difficult. Cows, you have to be even more careful, and I never actually encouraged. But then my experience has been there. I wish I had done it much earlier. The cows, they are there and Krishna looks after them. It's many people come to look after the cow and give food for the cow and pet the cow. This is India. You naturally get attracted to the cow. So human being is designed with a very natural attraction for the cow. But if you change it to make it the other way, that's why Prabhupada is saying the most cruel and the most grossest ignorance is to kill the cow. You spoiled everything. From the core, from the root of it, you spoiled everything. But if you protect the cow, you will lead a rich life deep inside. That is culture. That's the way Krishna has put it together. So in all these pastimes in the Bhagavatam, you will see that Krishna is with the cows. The supreme absolute truth is with the cows. His planet is called Goloka, planet of the cow. It's called planet of the cow. I like that. Our housing is going to be called planet of the cows. Goloka. I like that. So we should encourage this idea. It's not subjected to logic to that and this. It's just subject to experience. If you simply experience the cow, you will know. If you just serve the cow and chant Hare Krishna, you can feel it. You can feel something very good. It's actually a wave of sattvic guna. It's such a sattvic animal. And it's very dear to Krishna. And it makes friends so easily with human beings. And gives milk. Prabhupada calls it go rasa, the real juice. In other place, Prabhupada called it milk is liquid religion, he said. You can simply drink it. It's dharma. You simply drink it, you'll become dharmic. Amazing things he has mentioned everywhere about the cow and the milk and everything. So cow is treasure. For anybody who knows culture, and especially Vedic culture, he has a cow in his house and he looks after the cow. And such people will never give it up once they've got this experience of the cow and maintaining the cow. They'll go to any levels to maintain the cow, look after the cow and cater to it, and they labor very hard. But They do it because they know they get benefit. Immense benefit, may not be economic benefit, but great satisfaction, great feeling of love for Krishna, and generally speaking, uh, everything becomes auspicious. Everything becomes auspicious. So I'll stop here, and you can ask any question if you have.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dhamma.
Yeah.
Maharaj, now I see there is more cordial relationship between ISKCON and the government there in the center. This cow protection and this beef export thing, can't it be like, I mean, it's a political altogether, but
Yeah, I think I don't know the details, but I asked this. Nobody wants to speak about it. But I think there is opposition, and there are many other things that will happen, and many people will be disturbed. So sometimes they may not be doing it all of a sudden, but they're doing it little by little, maybe over a period of time. Because initially they did do it roughly, and then it had some repercussions.
in Karnataka especially. It was there.
I don't know. I mean, many places, not only in Karnataka, Kerala also. So they're so habituated to these type of things, so they won't so easily ban it, allow you to ban it. It may take time, it may take education and culture, but now it's proven beyond doubt that um, keeping the cow and the amount of wonderful things that the cow gives, everything is being patented. The cow urine is being patented, the cow dung, the cow, name it, everything about the cow is very valuable, they know. So to kill it and eat it is a very stupid economic principle. Whenever it is kept alive, it will give you more in terms of economy to kill it, because there's a lot of economy principles to feed the animals, not only cows, all the other animals that they eat. To feed all those animals, you need to have grains, fruits, vegetables, because these animals feed on that only. So anyway, you have to have crops for the sake of feeding the animals so that you can eat the animals. That's how the economy is set up now. And that requires more water. It requires so many huge amount of multiplication of water requirement. But the way it is set up by Krishna, evam pravartitam chakram, is that you grow crops and you feed on fruits and vegetables, and you give the remnants of that. The cows live on the remnants of that. The skin, this thing, that thing is enough for the cows. And the cows give you valuable stuff. Milk, ghee, yogurt, buttermilk, you name it. And they give you very just based on the wastage. You don't need to give special stuff. Sometimes you do give also. And that's how it is designed. The whole Pravartitam Chakra means the circle of sustenance. And if you don't follow that, it becomes economically not viable also. So they have, scientists have said that the amount of water consumption for eating meat is very huge. And that's the reason why there is water scarcity also. So this is one aspect of meat culture. But there are many other things that shows that meat culture produces toxic gases, and it affects as a greenhouse effect. Is contributed maximum by slaughterhouses. Like that, so many things are there, repercussions. If you don't follow the system, the repercussions are very heavy. You may not notice it. I think the entire climate change catastrophe is because of killing cows. So many millions of cows killed every year. It's because of that. If you simply stop killing the cow, I think the climate will change, everything will stop. But nobody is able to directly say this. But there's a direct connection to cow killing and climate change. Prabhupada repeatedly talks about it in his Bhagavatam. So it requires culture, it requires understanding, maturity. The Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavat, and Vedic culture has to be understood in order to sensitize people to these things. They will always go by reason and research and knowledge, and this is based on faith also to a great extent.
Yes.
Yeah. So it takes time. I think we have to do a lot of preaching.
Yes.
Yeah. Any other question or comment?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes.
Thank you for your wonderful words and the interesting topic as well.
Who's speaking, by
Uh,
the way?
my name is Rajesh.
Okay. Yes,
Maharaj,
Rajesh.
it is heard that generally all the cows, they easily they can observe if any bad omens are happening in the house, because we've seen tears coming out of their eyes. So is that true? I mean, it can easily observe that kind of
Yeah,
things. Yeah.
I heard that from many people who keep cows.
Yeah.
Even in our
So
Goshala in Guruvayur, our devotee who looks after the cow is so attached to the cows. He regularly talks to the cows. I see him through the window. He's just loudly talking to each of the cows. He's completely absorbed. He's so absorbed. And he can make out many things. He comes and cries to me and said, actually, they need space. And he very feelingly talking about it. And he tells me that this cow did like this. And I went and saw it. It is true. And I have heard about, family members, telling that the cow cried because in the house, so some death was there. The cow shed tears. And you will see that in traditional families, in the Ayurvedic families, I've seen those who come with doctors, they are warriors and all of them. A family, they tell if they have anybody in the house who's got sickness, they'll go and speak into the ears of the cow. That so and so, my family member got this thing, so please save and things like that. And after speaking, every day they go and speak this, and they will drink that cow urine and the cow milk of that particular cow, and the person gets cured. The cow produces the necessary medicine for that disease by hearing that you've got that disease. Because I'm a family member, they say the cow is a better doctor. You simply do. This is what they do today. Like you have in Gujarat, you have this huge clinic. It's simply based on the cow and cow products. They give you panchagavya in various proportions, and they cure even cancer. All sorts of people are coming getting cured. So cow is magic. I mean, it is simply stands there and chews the cud. It's mentioned here they quietly sat down and they're chewing the cud. But it's not that the whole machinery is working for the sake of human beings. Cow is simply made for human beings, and foolish human beings destroy the cow. So it's true, cows have feelings. Not only cows, in nature, there is a certain vibration and a certain communication going on. You don't know because we all human beings are so gross and we have lost the sensitivity of connection. The last time I think I was telling you that during the tsunami, so many phenomena were observed. One thing I remember was that the bees near the coastal area somewhere, I don't know, it's Africa or someplace, huge swarms of bees traveled in the air the day before tsunami. And they were wondering what is going on in the air. Huge swarms of bees, continuously for hours together. They moved into the mainland, leaving all their beehives and everything. They left all their beehives where they collected honey, and they moved off. And the next day came tsunami, destroyed the entire place where the bees were living, the forests and everything, and underwater. And then the scientists were saying, see, these guys knew the tsunami is going to come by some vibration. Then you will see recently, I saw that in that flooding happened from the Himalayas down the line, the rivers. A huge amount of fishes came down. And all these guys in the Himalayas, wow, wow, fishes, fishes. They picked up all the fishes on the banks. Huge amount of fishes were coming down all of a sudden. And then the next day came a massive flooding. It flooded all those areas where they picked up the fishes and started eating it. All those areas were flooded. The fishes knew and they traveled down and went to safer regions. Some of the fishes fell off into the banks, and these guys were thinking, fishes, fishes, so many fishes. But actually, 10,000 times more fishes were going down the line. They were moving off from that region. So this type of thing in nature, there is a communication between one species to the other also. And there's a vibration from the earth, a pulse, some wavelength. I think they are sensitive to that and they react. Well, we don't know. What to speak of cows, which are so close to human beings? Definitely. Human beings in Kali Yuga become so gross, so disconnected. That's why they are called ayogi, one who is not connected. I hope that helps you, Rajesh. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Any other
Maharaj.
question?
Thank you, Maharaj.
Any other question? Yeah, we should do everything possible to promote cow culture. And those of you who are here or in Kerala can visit our Goshala in Guruvayur and also here in Coimbatore. And you can have association with the cows. Cow Sangha. Okay. Anybody else wants to chip in something or have a question?
I wanted to share my experience, Maharaj.
Please,
So
Satyendra.
during my high school days, my maternal uncle used to have cows, like 4 cows. So during my vacations, I used to go there, spend time with them. And actually, I used to take care of them, right from morning to evening, taking them out, cleaning them,
Yeah.
cleaning up their place and then keeping them back, cutting the hays, things like that. So
Yeah.
even now, I have very fond memory of it. And whenever I see or think of cows, I feel like touching them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was amazing experience spending time with them.
Just when you're saying that, remember, somebody told me that in the West now they started a thing called cow hugging. You have to pay a little money and you can go and hug the cow. And they found out it's very good for your health. They're making money out of cow hugging.
Great business.
But at least that much, they've understood that by hugging the cow, it's, giving you some benefit.
Yeah.
If you can actually keep the cow alive, it'll give you even more benefit. You can hug it forever. They do the cow hugging, and very soon they go back for lunch and see on their plate there is beef. The same cow they hugged, they will eat it up for lunch. They don't know how to connect these two things together. They don't know how to connect. They go and hug the cow, and in the afternoon they eat beef. It's a counter cow culture. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else would like to comment or have a question? Cow topic is a huge topic. But I leave you with sweet cow dreams. Go Swapna.
Maharaj,
Yeah.
is this the last class or you'll have some more?
Whoever said this is the last class, I've been trying to go ahead with.
Okay. Thank you. I just want to know.
How did you get the idea that this is the last class?
No, I thought since you have finished your.
I'm just finishing because, we spoke about this topic quite often in this Light of the Bhagavad
Okay,
series.
Maharaj, thank you.
Okay. Om Tat Sat. Good night. Hare Krishna. Sweet dreams of Krishna and his cows. Haribol.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.